This is 7 National News, and in our top story. The UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohamed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has arrived at Mexico City Airport, where he's leading a high-profile UAE delegation on a 2-day visit to the country. At the airport, the ruler of Dubai and the accompanying delegation were received by the Under-Secretary for Foreign Affairs, Carlos de Caza, Mexican Ambassador to the UAE, Francisco Alonso Escobar, and a number of senior dignitaries from the Presidential Office. The delegation accompanying His Highness Sheikh Mohammed include the UAE Foreign Minister, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Chairman of Dubai Civil Aviation and Chief Executive of the Emirates Group, His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, Minister of Cabinet Affairs Mohammed Abdullah Al Gargawi, and the Minister of State Reem Ibrahim Al Hashimi, as well as other officials. His Highness General Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces and Chairman of the Abu Dhabi Executive Council, confirmed that the UAE, through the implementation of its comprehensive development vision, targets UAE nationals because they are the real wealth of the country and the main pillars of success for future development plans. The comments came as the Abu Dhabi Crown Prince chaired the first meeting of Abu Dhabi's recently restructured Executive Council held at the Crown Prince's Court. The Council also discussed the plans of new and continuing projects and initiatives undertaken by the Emirate and the goals these projects are set to realise. 37.3 billion dirhams was allocated for capital projects in 2014, and the Council approved injecting financial allocations for capital projects during the ongoing time frame of 2013 to 2017. A total of 330 billion dirhams will be distributed to various sectors and include 12.7 billion dirhams for housing and community facilities projects, 11.9 billion dirhams for government administration, 3.1 billion dirhams for economic projects, 2.5 billion dirhams for healthcare projects, 2.4 billion dirhams for the education sector. The Council stressed that these allocations confirm the progress of the Emirates' plans to develop its economy and support the private sector's involvement as a key partner in the development process towards achieving the objectives of Abu Dhabi Vision 2030. Additionally, 26.6 billion dirhams for social welfare has been allocated upon the directives of President His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan to ensure every citizen's welfare and stability. The UAE mandatory technical regulation for drinking water will take effect as of 1st of October this year. Dr. Rashid Ahmed bin Fahad, Minister of Environment and Water and Chairman of Emirates Standardization Metrology Authority (ESMA), was quoted in local reports as saying that any drinking water products which don't comply with the UAE scheme for drinking water approved by the UAE Cabinet and don't carry the Emirates Quality Mark, which is a conformity mark recognized by ESMA, will not be allowed into the market. The new mechanism is part of ESMA's strategy to regulate and monitor products which have direct impact on health and safety of the consumer and the environment. The minister explained that ESMA board had decided to grant an additional 6 months till October instead of 1st of April for the enforcement of the system in response to requests by water producers and suppliers to allow them to distribute their stock of drinking water and other imported products which don't carry the Emirates Quality Mark in the local market. The new comprehensive control system aims to improve water standards in terms of quality by unifying control mechanisms on drinking water, which include production, processing, packaging and distribution. 92% of cervical cancer cases can be successfully treated if diagnosed early. However, it is the second most common cancer in women between the ages of 15 to 45 years and the third leading cause of death worldwide. In the UAE, Zuleika Hospital is the latest to launch a campaign that aims to raise awareness among women and educate residents about cervical cancer and its prevention. A panel of experts led by Her Excellency Dr. Mariam Matar, founder and chairperson of UAE Genetic Diseases Association, and Dr. Zuleika Daoud, managing director of Zuleika Healthcare Group, put the spotlight on the obstacles to helping more women. Vaccines to help prevent cervical cancer is already available in the UAE. However, the response for screening and the vaccines is still significantly low. Medical experts hope for a better response and more collaboration from all the stakeholders, including men and insurance companies.
Insurance company, they are the biggest investors in our country who's taking our money, that's right, but they are not giving us equal right for what we deserve for healthcare services, especially when it's come to preventive. We are not talking about curative. In a preventive, vaccine and regular screening, it should be the cheapest, affordable, accessible services for any human beings as a human rights.
Her Excellency Dr. Mariam Mathar says in addition to this, more can be done. They also urge physicians to educate patients about the importance of early screening and detection, as well as the importance of vaccines. The panel hopes that through this initiative, they can save more lives.
It is scary, and the first question they'll ask our parents and but they never got vaccinated, so why should we? We have to make them aware of it. You see, the awareness comes from examination, having a patient's relationship, which I have over the years, my doctors and everyone. Slowly, steadily, we should try, keep on trying and make them aware of it, because everyone in UAE is educated now. So our awareness program will be very easy.
My opinion, I'll take full responsibility of what I'll take. If anybody should be started to be vaccinated in UAE and in Arab world, it should be the male, not the female. The female should be forced to have their pap smear and normal screening, but the male number one should be screened. And I like the comment when one of the audience, she raised that will be even more useful if this vaccine is added to the pre-marital investigation, which honorably saying that I was big part of that legislation to be approved. So, and that legislation, every time it should be upgraded. And this one will be highly considered. I'll try to take this commitment where we will try to simplify the information to the decision maker and to show the positive impact of such initiative for long run, not today and tomorrow, let's say for the coming 10 years, inshallah.
Motorists in Dubai can now get certificates from the Roads and Transport Authority, including their driving experience and history, which can help with securing jobs and obtaining insurance. The RTA launched the initiative recently to help drivers as well as employers to secure certificates that show the history of a driver's behavior and driving patterns. According to Abdullah Al-Hamadi, manager of driver license issuance at RTA's licensing agency, the certificates, which will show the number of fines and black points a person has received over a period of time, adding that if a person's driving record is good, he or she can use it as factor in getting cheaper motor insurance. Another benefit is that many countries ask for formal letters from authorities to transfer driving licenses, and the experience certificate will help in this case. The certificates can be applied through RTA website, service centres as well as call centres, and from July the service will be available on RTA kiosks that are located at various public locations such as malls. Each certificate will cost 60 dirhams and an additional 20 dirhams will be charged for door-to-door delivery. Dubai Airports, which manages the Emirates 2 airports, will start shuttle services between Dubai International and Al Maktoum International at Dubai World Central from April 24. The shuttle services will be put in place as select airlines briefly shift to Dubai's secondary airport for 80 days starting May 1 due to runway repairs. The two airports are roughly 65 kilometers apart, a journey that takes almost 1 hour. According to local reports, a Dubai airport spokesperson confirmed that the free shuttle bus will depart each airport every 30 minutes. The Roads and Transport Authority has two existing bus services, F55 and F55A, connecting Al Maktoum International with Ibn Battuta Metro and Al Satwa bus station. However, passengers travelling between the two airports will not be exempted from visa requirements. The UAE, unlike some countries, does not require passengers to obtain transit visas, but this is only applied when a passenger is not required to pass through customs control or passport control. The Dubai Airport spokesperson confirmed that passengers transiting between the two airports will have to pass through immigration and custom checks at both ends. And finally in the bulletin, every innovation begins with an idea. And during the third edition of the Microsoft Imagine Cup UAE Finals, 5 teams of students from 3 universities in the UAE demonstrated their innovative ideas for the participation in the global competition. A total of 17 different projects were submitted, represented by teams from 7 different universities in the country, out of which the 5 teams were selected to take part in the national final of the Imagine Cup. As part of the competition, students were required to create technology applications from software, video games to mobile apps designed to offer solutions in the areas of education, healthcare and environment. The projects were then assessed by a panel of judges, who declared American University of Sharjah's team iConnect for their idea, which could be used by doctors to monitor and identify the hunger, pain and other emotions of a paralyzed patient using brain-computer interface technology. In second place was the idea of Team MSA from Ajman University of a drone called Firebird 600, which can be used to detect and monitor dangerous environments with unique functions such as infrared vision and autopilot functionality. The 2 winning teams will represent the UAE in Qatar for the Pan-Arab semi-finals taking place from the 31st of May to 4th of June, and then the winners will go to the worldwide finals to be held in Seattle later in July.
Actually, the flow is that this drone, it goes over or inside the accident area. It captures video, voice, pictures, and send them to the station. And along with that, it can do the IR vision. It can detect gases. It can detect temperature. It is also connected to Azure server, which is a server from Microsoft. And it will broadcast the information which are recording live to other stations. It has its dual band network, which is working with 4G LTE DU network. And it has 3D modeling, therefore it can go inside the buildings and make a 3D modeling from the building and recognize the situation of the area and send it back to the station.
It's a competition, and it's done for developers. So we are encouraging the students to become developers, and we are providing them the tools to become good developers. So we are providing them the high technology tools to become a good developers. This is the power of the software. Software, you don't need factories. You do not need people. You just have an idea, a concept, and this is the power of software. We are empowering the youth to be creative, to be innovative. We are providing them the tools for it, and yes, just have an idea, dream it, build it, and live it. And this is the message behind Imagine Cup.